right, hey, we're fucking back. Welcome to another episode of Peaked. My name's Frank Castillo. It feels good to have the crew back together in this dope, sweet, whatever this is. No, thank you, sirs and lords. Nice introduction for my homie, my co-host, the love of my life, JP.
What's up, y'all?
I haven't seen you in like a week.
It's been a long week, bro.
It has, and it has been a crazy week. But it feels good to be back. It feels good to be back doing the podcast. Today's guest is a good friend of mine, Jackie Gold.
Hello, thank you for having me.
I'm so excited. You hit me up.
I did.
You're like, I wanna do your podcast.
Mistakes were made.
Yeah. So you've never smoked weed?
I can count like on one hand. I think it's been like, this would probably be, I think, like the fifth time.
Really?
This might be like fourth or fifth.
Okay. Wow, that's so fascinating.
I cannot fucking wait.
So what, if I can ask, what made you want to come do the podcast?
Well, because I would see like, you know, all the and I was like, I think this looks like fucking fun. Like, and then also I'm like, well, you know, if they say if you're supposed to smoke, like, it's supposed to be like in a safe space. And I'm like, well, I feel like if anything, it just, I don't know.
That feels good that people are like,
Yeah.
you know what, I need to smoke in a safe space. Frank is like the safest person to smoke weed with. And it feels great, you know what I mean? Because I'm just going to laugh a lot and be really loud about it.
And I think that's why I was like, well, we're just gonna like chill out and talk shit. So like, what
100%.
would be like, what could go wrong? Like,
Yeah.
Be fine.
We could talk shit about certain people.
I feel like anything that I've kept like a secret in my life for like the past like 10, 15 years is about to come out.
Oh yeah, that's
today.
the best. Oh, that's just the best, man. I love it. All right, so we'll start off. You don't do edibles, or you?
I've never had.
You've never had an
Never
edible.
had.
Oh my god!
So I'm gonna eat this whole pack.
Please don't. That is the worst thing you could do.
That's the thing is, I don't know if you're gonna get like nervous, neurotic, Jackie. I don't know if you're gonna get like super excited, Jackie. I have no idea what's about
Just
to
an
happen.
hour of crying. This is gonna be great. I can't wait. All right, so since it's your first time, I'm not gonna have you do 90 milligrams because that is, I'm pretty sure, extremely irresponsible on my part. So we have two options. We have these delicious malt balls by Punch Extracts. These are each 10 milligram. Tastes exactly like Whoppers.
I love Whoppers.
Really, really good. I like if it's your first time, I suggest half.
Okay.
Or like even half
You
of
want
a
me to
half.
just lick
Yeah,
the
just
Whopper?
lick it until you just get to malt ball.
Suck it like a vitamin, and then like I'm done.
Yeah. Or we could do one of these delicious new gummies that they just started doing. It's they got a citrus pack. It's tangerine, lemon, and
And they're kosher.
pink grapefruit. Yes, they are kosher.
They are kosher.
And that's very important.
It's very important for me.
How long have you been kosher?
My entire life.
Oh, okay, cool. Just checking.
So just like 22 years.
Oh, okay, sweet.
JP didn't believe me either. He's like, 22? Bitch, you're gray.
No, he's just laughing.
This is a fucking dumb question.
How long you been kosher? Yeah, it's great. So yeah, these are 10
When did you first realize you were a kosher?
Oh my God, when did you realize you were kosher?
When did you come out as kosher?
Oh man, I miss you so much. So yeah, one of these is 10. I suggest cutting one of these in half,
Okay.
Whichever you like.
Okay.
So yeah, for you, I suggest half of everything.
But I'm interested in trying both. Like they both sound very good. JP, what's your words of advice?
The gummy's gonna be easier to split for sure. Like if
Okay.
you want to like bite something in half right away and like probably be able to guess half, the gummy is gonna be the easiest
Or
way.
you
I
can
would
take
say.
a piece of the gummy and then do half of the malt ball.
So basically, it will be 10 altogether, but like
But
5
half
and
and
5.
half, yeah.
Yeah. Or you can do a smaller piece of the gummy, and so it's like even like 2 or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It doesn't have to be exactly
The
half.
whole thing, yeah.
Yeah, that's the great thing
Do,
about weed. You can just take what you want.
Do these interfere with Prozac? Because that's what I'm on.
You'll be all right.
No, let's ask our offstage producer. They were telling me no. All right,
Okay,
cool.
And they are not here. Okay, cool. So we're gonna.
They're
do
also
this.
telling me we have to sign something.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So you want to
And they all
first?
took my keys. Like
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know what's happening.
All right, let's do the malt ball first.
Yeah. I kind of do want to do the malt ball. Oh, these are tiny.
That's the problem.
That's how it starts.
Cheers.
Are you doing the whole thing or half?
Oh, that's right. But we have to cheers
Ooh,
it
that
anyway.
was close.
But we cheers it anyway. Okay. That's half. Okay. It's delicious.
Right?
It tastes just like a malt ball.
It's the dangerous part.
It
right?
really would. If you snuck this in there on me, I would never know.
Yeah. Brian Simpson was at my birthday party, and Punch brought like a whole display case of them. So there's about like at least 500 of them, right? Different flavors and stuff. Simpson's sitting there and he's just like, man, I've eaten like 12 of these. These are fucking delicious. And I'm like, bro, those are edibles. And he's like, oh shit. He's like, I think I've eaten like 120 milligrams.
Yeah. He's like, I'm gonna die.
Yeah. And he also, we had little mushrooms too. So he was like, he was fucking blasted. He texted me the next morning. He was like, did I like yell at anybody or curse anyone out? And I'm like, no, why? And he's like, because I woke up on my couch in my underwear.
I would have to. What is Simpson like blasted?
He's great. I mean, he's like, he's already such a chill, like meditative guy. It's like that, but even more. Most of the time, you just think he's asleep. How many times have we gotten stoned with him and he's just come back into the conversation?
His like eyes will be closed, and like a lot of times he'll have his headphones on, like if we're at the store, and then he'll like kind of just be chilling there, and like you won't think he's in the conversation, and someone will say something, and he'll just snap into it, and it's like.
I almost hit him with my car the other day. I was driving and I see this guy, and it's like when you see Simpson just walking with like the headphones and stuff, you do like a double take for a second because you're like, oh, homeless or hipster. And then I saw him, and then like I waited for him to cross, and I'm like, Brian. He's like, you recognized me? I'm like, yeah,
you recognized me?
Like, yeah, I recognized you.
Yeah, dude, he's fucking hysterical. Have you done any stand-up? How's it feel to be back?
I was actually back at I did first stand-up on Saturday. It was like the first time in like a year and a half.
Oh, at the store, right?
At the store.
How's it feel to be, because I think everyone in the belly rooms right now, I think has the best crowds. Because I think you guys are 100% full capacity.
Okay.
And it's all fully vaccinated. I think that is the closest to a pre-pandemic room.
First of all, I mean, this is my first time doing it there with like this new system that they're running. I think it's going to be great. I fucking love the idea that it was paid audience and not like people who got trapped there by their friends to come watch like 3.5 hours of like brutal comedy. I was a little in my head because first time back on stage doing like, trying to like make sure everyone's really impressed with my development spot, and then also like opening the show. So I was like, oh fuck, but that was fun.
Have you bombed yet since coming back?
No, Saturday was the first time.
Oh, really? Oh, I've bombed a few times since being back, and it's just kind of like, it's weird because you're like, yeah, it's back, baby. It feels great. Yeah, I got heckled too.
How? Like what?
By a lady in San Jose. She screamed at me. It was pretty amazing. I have it on tape, and I might.
What did she say?
So she was just really, she got really drunk, started shouting at me and stuff. And then we started going back and forth, and I was just like, please be quiet, blah, blah, blah. And then, we started, she was just like, I like men with hair. And everyone was just like, oh. And then I was just like, that's cool. I like a bitch that knows how to shut the fuck up. And everyone lost their minds. And it was also like, it was one of those things like it's been so long since I've been in a confrontation like that I was just like, I'm gonna sit in this because I miss this. And also like definitely with all the shit that happened with my dad this week, I was just like, someone's gonna get it. And I just felt so bad that it was this lady. But she was just like coming back. She was just classic back and forth, drunk heckler kind of deal. And I was like just hitting her with shit, and it was like hilarious. She
also, it's going to go well when like the 1-2 punch she gave was like, I like someone with hair, and that went over well. Then you were like, now I know this next one's gonna.
Like, oh, now I'm just gonna give it to you. And I straight up told her, I was like, listen, lady, I was like, I'll go toe to toe with you this whole fucking rest of the night. I was like, I killed a white guy on TV for $25,000. What do you think I'll do to a woman that I don't even know?
When I'm making $750. Like, what do you think I'll do?
I was like, they paid me before I got on stage. That was their mistake.
I don't have to do anything.
Dude, once I said that, everyone started losing. Like, they just started dying laughing. And at one point, I even said, I was like, thank God you started shouting at me because this set was sucking. And then, like, that is when everyone really started losing their minds because it was this idea of, like, acknowledging that.
And you called it out.
Yeah, acknowledging what was like, I could be better, obviously, but this is obviously the funniest thing that's happening.
That's actually one of my favorite things about like this art form is that like absolute present where everybody's there in the moment witnessing the same thing.
Yeah.
So when you actually say and speak the thing that everyone's saying.
It's
dude,
like the girl was she goes, I'm a black woman. And then I go, well, I'm a Mexican man. And everyone's like, ah!
Which is such a crazy, because it's not even like it's not even a comeback. Like you guys literally just read your about me's.
Yeah, 100%. It was, God, I missed it. It was great. Yeah. But a lady in the front row goes, focus. It's not funny anymore. But then like the whole rest of the audience was like, nah, fucking get her. And I was like,
it's that one woman's like, I want to hear prepared material.
Yeah, everyone else is like, nah, fuck this bitch. It was great. It was hilarious.
That's
I'm gonna
always
get
something
canceled.
that still gets me like, before I'll get on stage, like especially if I'm doing like a full set, I sit there being like, oh, let me just make sure like all this stuff is like going in a good pattern.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
then
100%.
I get on stage, I'm like, none of this fucking matters.
No, 100%.
I'm like, why did I even write shit?
The new GM of the San Jose Improv was there, and I saw him afterwards, and I was like, oh, I'm so sorry you had to see this. And he was like, nah, man, I fucking loved it. He was like, I like live entertainment. He goes, you can't get that anywhere else. You know what I mean? He was like, I like the hour and the, all that jazz. He's like, but he was saying, he's like, my favorite comic's Ian Bagg. And I get it, dude. Ian Bagg's fucking hysterical. He goes in, works the crowd, takes care of the whole staff when he's there for the weekend. And it's like, that's a good comic. I feel like all around. Like one, a good dude, and also just a good comic.
Well, it's also nobody really leaves like a comedy show and is like, well, my favorite joke was one they said. Like they just leave and they're like, oh, that was a fucking great experience.
That was a fucking great time.
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah, and that's what kind of
like, and then do you remember when the dude said like that would be exact? Remember when he said he was Mexican?
Yeah.
Oh, snap!
Yeah.
Like retelling it to people at work, and they're like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, man. I wonder if I'm gonna get shot in San Jose by her whole family. She sent me a message too the next morning.
Just be like
4 paragraphs.
Good or bad?
Bad. It was about she related it to like George Floyd and the whole thing. It was pretty great.
I thought it was gonna be good, where she was like, "Hey, man,
No.
we created something special together."
You want to start a podcast?
The next morning she messaged me, and she messaged me that night, and then the next morning she unsent the message.
Oh, but you had already read it?
I had read it, didn't respond, but I remember like on stage, I remember looking at it, I was like, just so you know, you're going to wake up the next morning and be like, I fucked up. And I remember telling her that, and everyone heard me say it. So then the next morning when she unsent the message, I was like...
Yeah, like she fucked. So you think, so she went home, wrote the message.
Of course. She misheard me. She thought I called her... So what happened was, she was like, I'm Polynesian, I'm black, I'm this, I'm that. And I was like, are you a white woman? Because you've changed your race like 5 times. And that shit pissed her off so much. And then she was just like, I'm Polynesian. I was like, oh, dude, I'm so sorry, bro. I'm so sorry. I didn't realize that you were Polynesian. I've never met a Polynesian before. I was like, yo, I love the shit you guys are doing at Chick-fil-A. I love your sauce. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to come off disrespectful. I should have been nicer.
They fucking lose their shit.
They lost their mind.
I don't even eat at Chick-fil-A, and I'm like, Polynesian sauce.
I was like, please don't cut me off from Chick-fil-A.
Yeah. You're like, fuck them guys, I want them chicken.
And bro, that's what set her off, because she was like, fuck that, how you say that about Polynesians? And I was like, I was clearly just fucking her. Like, dude, it was so great. And then like she waited for me at the end of the show, like waited outside for me. Security had to like walk me out. It was the whole thing. And I remember before we were leaving, she was like, nah, fuck that. I want to meet this motherfucker's white wife. I bet you that bitch is thick. And bro, I could not stop laughing, because it was just one of those things like, bro, like this is an angry ass black woman. She was mad, dude.
I know the worst thing you could do when a black woman's mad is cut her off.
Cut her off?
She's like, I have to finish this thought.
Yeah, 100%. But it was also like, I kind of stumbled upon this thing. It was like, I kind of implied that in a sort she was a Karen. And it was just like, yo, I think like implying to black women that they're Karens is like the new worst thing. Like it is.
It's like the worst insult.
I don't like, because Karen is slowly like.
Because it's not just calling them like a white person, it's calling them the worst type of white person that they can be.
It's crazy how all encompassing it's becoming. Like I guarantee you, people will, like Simpson said it. He goes, I guarantee you, Karen's, like no one's going to be naming their kids Karen. No. Like 5 years, not a single person.
I used to work at a restaurant with the sweetest little 21-year-old girl named Karen. She was like the sweetest girl possible. So anybody that was a Karen, we just called them Jennifer. We're like, that fucking Jennifer over there. It's fucking Jenny's.
Oh, God, that's so great. Oh, you ready? You want to get in this?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, we didn't even do the beginning one, which is actually kind of good, because now that I think about it, you know what I mean, beginner.
Let's slow start.
Pace.
Yeah, we'll go.
Yeah, because usually we do like a pre-round and then 3 rounds.
Oh, okay.
So it's like 4 total hits, but since we're just going to do 3 just because it might be a little.
I don't want to mess up the flow.
No,
you're good.
Trust me, it's
I'm still eager for my gummy. I didn't get gummy yet.
Would it be great if you were like, I've been smoking for 35 years. Or my bad, sorry. I've been smoking for 22 years.
Yeah, thank you.
And you're like, I just came in
I was
here
even flattered at the 35. Like people are like, oh, you went blonde. I'm like, yeah, that's what I did. I went blonde.
Oh, okay. So let's do this. All right. So double tap.
Round 1.
Yeah, this first round we're smoking the berries and cream. It's going to be a strain called Burberry and ice cream cake crossed. The Burberries is just a blueberry and OG Kush, and then the ice cream cake is going to be triangle cake, and then a wedding cake.
Okay.
Triangle Kush wedding
Is
cake.
that like the different type? Like OG Kush would be the type of.
Yeah, like OG
like
Kush a lot of
strain?
times it's like one of those legacy strains. It's kind of been
Yeah,
around
just do it,
forever.
it beep.
There's a bunch of different variants. No, totally. Yeah, so when you hit that, you should really kind of taste a lot of that blueberry notes. It'll probably be the first.
Based on based on your face, did I fuck up?
No, I think you just took a fat ass rip.
Rip.
I feel like it's not fun unless you make it bubble.
No, hey, there you go.
PUFFCO, it's not fun unless you make it bubble.
That's what I say when I'm going down on a guy too. Or maybe that's what he says when he goes down on me. He's like, hold on, I gotta make it bubble. Those are what I call queefs from now on. I'm like, oh, I got bubbly guts.
Choke. I swear to God.
I feel like I'm handling this better than you think.
I mean, yeah, dude, it is so funny, man.
So I tasted the blueberry.
This should be
Then
like
I
a
got
lot
like the hint of the vanilla Haagen-Dazs.
yeah.
This looks
There you
like
go.
when parents have to like clear their child's nose from mucus and they suck at
They're squeezing it. Yeah, the vanilla is actually I
Do I
misspoke
double tap
earlier.
again if I want to do
no,
it
If you want to
again?
go again,
I mean, if you want to go, yeah. But yeah, you can clear the. Yeah.
Was that a really big one too?
No, no.
that was
Is there
it's a
supposed
little.
to be smoke?
Yeah, there you go.
You
Nice little bit of
That's
vapor.
what they call
But then how do I know if I inhaled or not?
it. You inhaled.
You did?
Yeah.
The moment you started pulling on it, the whole thing filled with smoke.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like-
if there's a way we could do a slow motion close up of just how hard you hit it, it was like.
Because like, I mean, with my experience of the handful of times I smoke, like, isn't there like smoking and keeping it in your mouth versus like smoking and having it go down your
So I
throat?
mean, the biggest thing is like it's got to get into your lungs
Yeah.
for the most part. So a lot of times when the people teach you to smoke, you teach you to pull it in and then pull in extra air as well. So it literally goes into your lungs. And then a lot of times I would argue that you're not getting as high if you're not inhaling it all the way.
Yeah.
But also,
Like the
what was the thing?
former
People-
president said, I did
people-
not inhale.
I guess it's a myth where people
Doesn't
were like,
count.
if you keep it held in your lungs.
I think they say that it absorbs just as quick. As long as it gets in there, you're gonna retain some of that THC from that.
How did that?
So I know that it. How do I don't know if it. I feel like a little tingly.
Yeah,
For sure,
But
yeah. I would
I
say
don't
with
know
the
if I
way that
know
you were
when
pulling,
back
it
there.
definitely went
yeah,
into your lungs.
yeah. From the two of us, from what we saw, yeah. I think you got it.
I think it went straight to the
I feel like
bottom.
I could smell it in my nose, so I feel like I got it.
Those terpenes.
But this one smells delicious.
Yeah, that blueberry is really good in there. And then, earlier I misspoke. That vanilla would be, for my ice cream cake, it's going to be wedding cake and gelato. So the gelato has a lot more of that creamier kind of sweet note to it. And I can see where you get vanilla from it, for sure.
Yeah. Oh, because you said wedding cake. You didn't say vanilla. I said vanilla. Oh, okay.
It's all definitely
So how did
subjective,
how
though.
do you feel high? How do you like?
Yeah, it's so
good.
much fun. I just want to do it again.
I mean,
Like, it just feels like a fun thing.
yeah.
Hey, Jackie,
Oh, sorry.
what's butter taste like?
I don't know if I'm being set up right now.
Yeah, what's
What's
butter?
Butter
being set
tastes like?
up?
No.
I've never had butter before. I'm just curious what it tastes like.
Like creamy, salty? I don't know. I feel like I'm about to be a pawn in something that I don't know I'm a part of.
No.
Like, am I being set up?
I've just never had butter.
Each round we ask 3 random questions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're setting you up with a butter question.
I was like, I don't know where this goes. Like
Landa Lakes is gonna walk in here and just beat the shit out of you if you answer it wrong.
all of a sudden, like it was Nickelodeon. I pull the tassel and the butter falls all over me.
What was the fear that you had when you?
Like, part of me like wasn't sure if like he was telling me that like I was gonna taste like butter from this, or this was gonna taste like butter, or I don't know.
Yeah. If you had to describe butter to someone for like the first time, how would you describe it?
Like a creamy. I don't know, like yellow, a creamy, salty, smooth flavor. I don't. How would you describe butter?
I just friendlier milk.
But I think, if anything, it would be angrier milk.
Yeah,
You gotta,
you could-
like,
just
that's
got
true. I
beat
guess
up.
angrier milk.
Churn
Yeah,
it.
angry milk.
It's beaten milk.
Beaten milk. Yeah, that's how I describe butter.
yeah.
What's the worst date you've ever been on or heard of?
What's the worst date I've ever been on or heard of?
April 7th.
The day it all went wrong.
That's my birthday. No, I'm
That'd be so fucking funny. How about April 7th, 1986?
Hey!
Oh my God, me too. Class of 2005, 6.
07 for me.
Fuck, I mean, 08.
Hey! I'm so high. Oh, yeah, now I feel it. I keep staring at that line. Jesus. It's so intimidating. Anyways.
This entire thing, I'm full profile. I've only been looking at you. Like, I don't know if I was supposed to look at the camera or not. I've only
Oh, no,
looked
it's
at you,
fine.
Frank. Okay.
Yeah, that's great.
All right.
Was worst day I've ever seen. I've had friends. I've heard like the catfishing thing where they're just like I had a friend whose roommates actually. They both like met a chick on Tinder and then they met her at the date and then it was like, oh, this is like so photoshopped. And then he was like, I still slept with her. And then his other roommate was like, yo, I matched with this chick on Tinder. She was like super cool and super hot. And it was the same chick.
Mine was a magician. I got set up by my rabbi. I feel like I'm on the wrong podcast, and this one is for like the Liars Club because it just sounds like a made up story. I got set up by my rabbi to go out with this magician because he was like comic, rabbi, same thing. You too. So I went out. I saw the guy. I'm like, this is not fucking for me. Like this, I knew.
Did you know? When did you know? Was it the moment he pulled a rabbit out of his hat?
That would have been like a better trick. He did 2 tricks.
Did he do 2 tricks? Oh my God. Out the gate? Or?
2? Well, first there was 1. And then it's like, well, how do you react when somebody...
Did he know? Wait, did he just do it in front of you? And
Can you imagine like that's how he said hello? He's like, hello! And, like, pulled that
or
part.
like you guys sit down for dinner and it's like, what menu do you want? And then he just like, he pulls out of his jacket and you're like, what the fuck was that? And you're like, I'm a magician. You know what I mean?
No, it was more of like after we were sitting there and I think when we both realized like there's no conversation left to have. And he's like, you want to see a trick? And so he did one. But like when someone does like a grown adult does a magic trick in front of you, what's the proper response? So I just was like,
well, do you like magic?
yay. I mean, it's fine. I enjoy
You're
it.
like, I like magic. I don't want to fuck a guy that does magic.
Like, I wouldn't want to be with someone who's like, honey, can I practice this on you?
I remember, do you heard the story about when David Blaine showed up at the Comedy Store?
No.
So David Blaine shows up at the Comedy Store, right? And Fahim was there and he watched the whole thing go down. But he shows up on a motorcycle. He's got some like hot chick on the back of the motorcycle. He literally pulls up. He walks up to the store. He goes, it's funny now. He goes up and he goes, hey, is that Chris D'Elia? And they're just like, yeah. And I can't remember which door guy it was that was checking the ID. He goes, he's like, can I see your ID? And he goes, I'm David Blaine. He goes, holy shit, you are David Blaine. And he shows him the ID and he's just like, oh God, you're David Blaine. And he's like, yeah, is that D'Elia? Can I show him a trick? And he was like, yeah. And he just walks him up to D'Elia and D'Elia's, sitting there. And then he just does a bunch
Chicks
of tricks.
on each side of him.
Yeah, chicks on each side of him. And then he does the trick and shit, and everyone's like blown away. Meanwhile, the chick that's on the motorcycle, completely unimpressed.
Didn't move? Oh,
Didn't move. Like,
she's
we're just
still on the
sitting there.
motorcycle?
Yeah, she's just sitting there waiting. Like, it was clearly like one of those things. Like, it was like,
this happens every Thursday.
yeah, where he was like, she's like, we're supposed to go to dinner. You know what I mean? And like, it's the equivalent.
She's like, God damn it, Dave! Every fucking time.
Yeah. And it was just so funny because it was like, yeah, that's how my wife feels. Like whenever we're like, hey, let's go on vacation somewhere, and then I'm like, oh, there's a comedy show here. What if I can do time? She's like, I fucking hate you.
Yeah. I went to Israel after I did a trip with my mom where we went to Poland to see the concentration camps. It's a good old family experience. Everyone should go. So we went to Auschwitz, saw the concentration camps, went to Israel afterwards. Very heavy trip. We get to Jerusalem and I'm like, oh, look, they have American English, like American comedy night. It happened to be like, it was like 2 nights a week they do English comedy. And I was like, I could fucking go.
You were like, please let me go.
My mom's like, oh, we just looked at like where my grandmother was burned and now you want to go do comedy.
You're like priorities.
And I was like, well, from darkness to light, we shall overcome.
Oh my God, that's so fucking funny.
How's the floor mop ball taste?
It was good. Did I eat it? No, the floor mop ball's right here.
Damn.
Oh my God, I'm so high that I was like, did I eat it?
Can I take one of these?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, how do you feel?
I feel fine.
Yeah, go.
Do I seem fine?
Yeah, you feel
Okay.
great. You feel
You're
great.
Gucci.
You seem great.
I'll take half, right?
Yeah.
Jackie, what's the worst flavor Pop-Tart?
The unfrosted.
They have that?
Yes.
Why?
I know. That's the whole point.
What are they filled with?
I think they'll do they'll do a classic strawberry, but unfilled.
Weird.
Yeah.
Dude,
Very weird.
I feel like whoever's buying unfrosted Pop-Tarts is the same people that are buying unlubed condoms. That got really quiet all of a sudden.
No, for some reason, like in my head, like I thought that I had like a comparison to, and I was trying to think of it, and then I couldn't remember what it was.
It went nowhere.
Like I was like, that's like, and I was like, I don't remember. There was like a cracker I was thinking of.
Hilarious. Worst favorite player or top Pop-Tart? I mean, listen.
What?
Wait, what did I say?
Worst favorite player of Pop-Tart?
These edibles are kicking in.
Pop-Tart games.
Pop-Tart games, dog. I think it would have to be. I've seen like if it's too much chocolate, that's just weird, bro. Especially if it's like chocolate frosting and then chocolate inside filling. It's just too much chocolate.
So I feel like that would be my jam.
Really?
Because Trader Joe's makes good Pop-Tart. I've never really had real Pop-Tarts because they're not kosher. So I've had Trader Joe's Pop-Tarts, and they made a hot cocoa. They made a hot cocoa, and it was fucking delicious.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so good.
Dude, I'll eat any flavors of Doritos. Not Doritos, any flavors of Pringles. Like even the weird ones. Like they had pizza
ones that
Pringles.
pizza?
Yeah, dude, I fuck with them pizza Pringles.
Cheesums are the fucking best. Sour cream and onion. No, the pizza ones are good. The pizza ones are legit.
What is I guess.
But there's a difference between like 99-cent store Pringles and then like Ralph's brand Pringles. Like you can taste that you're like, oh, these are cheap Pringles.
Yeah. Because usually the ones that are like terrible are like 3 years old.
Yeah.
And you're just like, yeah.
You could tell, like, if you go to like read the not instruction, ingredients, and it's in 2 languages, those are not the good.
No. They're running promos for the Super Bowl from 3 years ago. You're like, if I open this bag, I could win tickets.
It's like still has like a White Girls 2 movie poster on the end. Yeah.
Oh my God. That was a good movie.
I never saw that movie.
You never did?
No.
It is like culturally like constantly made fun of and stuff. But also like on the right, it is like their favorite thing to bring up when they're just kind of
and they're like, well, why can't we do blackface?
they did whiteface.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yeah. So it's like, well, the Wayans brothers are great whiters.
Yeah.
Whiters.
White. Well, actually, that worked.
And that actually did work. Holy shit. Hey.
And that's the end of round 1.
Round 2.
Oh, hey. We're back. Round 2.
Ooh, perfect timing.
Yeah, JP, what are we smoking?
This one's going to be the Fatso. It's a Legend OG and GMO. GMO is actually one of my favorite strains, especially in hash. It's going to have a very garlicky, almost like simmering, sauteing garlic taste when you taste it. And then it'll also like coats your mouth in an almost like oily fashion. And it'll stick around. It's definitely a taste that I look for a lot when I look for hash.
Was that normal size? Or was that big size?
This is another ripper.
Was GMO genetic modified? What's GMO?
Garlic, mushrooms, and onions is kind of like the short.
It tastes so good.
Yeah, and
Garlic.
this batch.
Got my throat.
I think you got it.
Do you think I inhaled? I feel like we're doing a food tasting, course tasting.
It is a food course tasting.
Dessert first.
I really enjoy the savory taste in this one. It's not the most favorable, but I'm a huge fan.
Yeah.
You have water.
Oh, I forgot. I feel like I'm becoming a child. I think so far it was a good idea.
It definitely was.
I think it's going well. Frank.
Yeah. We definitely got the funniest fucking Jackie.
If you were homeless, where would you set up your tent, Frank?
Ooh. Definitely, I like the Malibu setup. I've seen some of those tents up in the hills, and they got some nice shit. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen some precarious, like, you drive down Laurel, and you know how they have, no, it's fine. You drive down Laurel, and you know how they have those, like, houses on the two fucking things? I've seen that, but in Malibu, and just homeless houses. I think some of these homeless people used to be architects because they lost their jobs. Because some of these places are fucking, like, the foundation's strong.
Oh, dude, I've seen AC units and electricity, like in some of them.
Yeah. Dude, there was a video of a dude who had a parking garage for his car.
Cardboard garage.
It just went up, and it was just
Why doesn't he just live in the car?
Oh yeah.
He's like pulling it with a little shoe.
It's wine.
The garage
He's
door.
got a fucking like,
Beep, beep.
but it's actually just another
He
homeless
saw
guy.
you coming and he rolls up the cardboard window. He's like, Mexican. Let me lock up my box.
He's like, oh, this neighborhood's going to shit. he hits like
the alarm.
The garage door opener is just like, it's a garage door opener, but there's no batteries. Just a homeless guy inside who like sees him and then starts doing it for him.
It's the midget-sized homeless guy that's like bike pedaling to close the garage.
Oh, God, I love getting stoned.
What about you, Jackie? Where do you think you'd set up?
Right.
GMO.
No, Mario. I don't know. I was like, Mom, like my parents' backyard. I'm going to use my white privilege to the fullest on that one. Outside 776 Argyle. Just gonna.
You just walk out. You're like, at least I got a pool. Oh, that's pretty great.
Yeah.
Jackie, what's a late night snack you're ashamed to be seen eating? For example, my girlfriend loves sugar toast. So it's literally
sugar toast?
Bread, butter, and sugar.
Oh, I thought that was like a generic cinnamon toast crunch. like you like things weren't going well. You guys are just buying bags of cereal instead of boxes.
That's when you know shit's tough at home. When they're just like, we're switching to bags.
Yeah, we got Cocoa O's, Fruity Zingers.
You're just staring at your mom like, Mom, come on, get another job.
Or your mom's like, oh, you need some milk for that? Hold on, let me add some water. Shake it up.
Dude, I've had that.
But like that's also like my privilege. I used to ask my mom if I could have the carnation milk like as a treat, like the powdered milk. I'd be like, oh, what's this in the cabinet? And she's like, oh, that's like instant milk if you need to make it. I'm like, oh, could we have that? Like on a weekend. Like I was like, oh, let's have the powdered milk. Like it was like some weird like astronaut astronaut food I hadn't seen before.
Oh, dude, one of the best like juxtapositions like privilege between like it was so my wife and me and my wife's friend's partner who used to grow up in Florida. She was like poor white and she lived in a trailer park. And I lived in a trailer park for a little bit with my mom, and we kind of like commiserated on like what it's like living in a shitty trailer park and like an RV situation. And my wife was like, yeah, me and my family would go camping in an RV, and it was just like quiet. And I looked at her friend back, and I was like, isn't it crazy that my wife used to do for fun what we used to do to live?
Yeah.
And she was like, I don't know how to react.
For us, like, we're like, ooh, like poor people things are an activity for us.
Yeah. They are.
Like it's an outing. Like we're
Yeah.
ooh,
Yeah.
we're gonna fish for our food.
Yeah.
I think I would survive 24 hours tops, like on a camping trip.
Really?
I mean, like I like the idea of it.
Have you ever
like,
been camping?
Oh, but just like, you know, like, okay,
Glamping?
it's summer camp, so we're all
okay.
going into the thing. And then, of course, like you go to the, like, yeah, like nothing. I haven't done the like,
You haven't like slept on the floor with a sleeping bag, like it's just a tent.
knowing that you're in like a state park among like a boxed in area where you're going to be safe.
Yeah.
I've done that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's camping. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I feel like
My wife goes glamping, which is like RV, jet skis, satellite TV, fucking like a 1-bedroom house on wheels.
yeah, I've never done that. I feel like that defeats the purpose a little bit.
When I went out with them for the first time camping, I was definitely like,
And then you're like, this is fucking great.
I was like, it's great, but it's also like this ain't camping. You know what I mean? Like,
You were like, I'd like to sign up for the 130 jet ski spot.
Yeah, 100%.
You're like, I'm in room 217, bill it to the room.
Yeah, 100. Yeah, space 215. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I have very old parents, so we didn't do like hiking, things like that. Like,
Oh, you lucked out.
it would be like, we'll go to Hershey Park and Mystic, Connecticut, like do things like that. Like, here's some salt caves, or like old presidential homes.
Oof.
Frank, what's the cutest animal you'd be the most afraid to running into the woods alone?
Ooh. Like, as in like
Like, if it was just you in the woods and you're rolling around
and you see a
there's
cute animal
right in front of you.
and then it's like, but yeah, because there's something about cute animals in like terrifying settings that are like, it makes it equally as cute as it is cute. It makes it as equally as scary. Like if I saw just like a chinchilla, like if it was a chinchilla just on a stump staring at me and I walked it, I would be so terrified.
I don't even know what I'm trying to remember what a chinchilla looks
It's like the softest, furriest little rodent.
Because I was picturing almost like a sloth, but with legs. Oh wait,
But like
sloths
way
have
cuter.
legs. But okay. No, I realized that I was like, if I don't know what it looks like, it would take me too much time to try and picture it. So I just thought saying okay was a better way of getting out of it.
I love how your mind works when you're stoned.
Yeah. Well, because also I'm like, oh, it's not a good podcast guest if you just stare while you try and think of what a chinchilla looks like. So I was like, I don't know if it's going to make for a good podcast if I just sit here just trying to imagine it for like a while. A koala bear would be the one.
I think like a big one too.
Yeah, because I was thinking more medium size, but yeah. Just
Like a Sasquatch-sized koala bear.
No, but just like a little bit bigger than your average koala.
Yeah.
Because then it's like slightly like out of place.
But I think also it's like one of those things where like I feel like I would freeze because I'd be like, you want it to like you and you want to like ingratiate yourself to the koala, but you're also like, I don't fucking know what to do because like I know you can go wild, so like what. I don't know the moves. Like, I don't know if you're supposed to zigzag away from a koala bear or like how the fuck. So I'm like,
Yeah. Also, do they like climb trees very well? Like, because I've only seen them stoned. I've never seen them upset and fucking
like
Because you know they.
I was like, do they get stoned too?
Yeah, they eat eucalyptus trees. Is that what it is?
So
that's their main diet, and it gets them like fucked up, and they just get high. That's why they're so like chill. But
that's why they're always like falling over.
Yeah, but so that's why it's like if you take all that away, it's like what are they really like?
But I think that's the thing. It's like, I don't know if it's one of those animals that you make eye contact or that like you're not supposed to, or like if you act big, like, you know, it'll like be like, oh, I should leave her alone. So we
got to get a koala expert on this podcast.
John?
And that's the end of round 2.
Final round.
Thank you, Puffco.
In the turn, we're smoking a Wedding Crasher. It's a wedding cake and Purple Punch. It's going to have a lot of that. In Purple Punch, it's known for a lot of its berry notes. It's going to be mostly that berry again. The wedding cake does have a little bit of triangle mints in there, which is going to have a little more of the OG Kush gas to it. A little more of a planty taste, I would say.
I feel like I breathed it out really well this time.
The slow exhale.
I feel it one of my nose.
Yeah, a lot of times when you exhale through your nose, all the terpenes like will burn your nose hairs. It feels like it'll tingle. They won't burn.
Now I'm afraid I gotta have boogers.
I love this show. This is my favorite podcast ever. I never really knew what like my version of a show that I would want to do would be, and this is it.
Jackie, what do you think the most expensive toilet you ever used cost?
Ooh, most expensive toilet ever used.
And what do you think it was too?
Where was I? I went to a hotel, but it also had the kind, I think it's like for men where like it doesn't have the flap and it would just be like, you know, the kind of looks like a water fountain, but on the
Bidet?
Oh, but is that just like normally what a bidet looks like?
A bidet is.
I think like European ones might have two separate. Like I think it's
Okay.
like a separate like wash station. I'm not.
So I think maybe I was in Spain. I feel like maybe I was in Spain and I saw that. And I think at first I was like, I thought I was supposed to like straddle and squat over it. Like as if,
It's
like,
a weird.
I thought it was a female urinal.
It's a weird feeling when you're just kind of like when you see like when you go to somewhere else and it's like, oh, they shit different, and you're just like, oh, wow, and you should like troubleshoot it. It's
It's very few moments in life that are like that.
Well, actually, I'll tell you one of the weirdest bathrooms. Not the most expensive, but I was in Israel and on a kibbutz. Does everybody know what a kibbutz is? A kibbutz is like the closest to like communist living. It's like everybody lives kind of on this compound. Everybody has their job. Everybody pitches in. Kumbaya. So this one, like in the hostel, the bathroom was like, here's the shower, here's the toilet. And then so basically you would like shit and then like wash your ass off in the toilet. And then there's no shower curtains or anything. So then you take a squeegee and you just you squish the rest of the water into the drain to like squeegee the floor after your shower. It was very, very, I've never had to do housework after I bathed myself. Like I was like, this is so weird and too much work.
That's
like
wild.
you just had to clean up after yourself.
I did I had like in Japan, I think it was in one of like their airports, nicest bathrooms I've ever seen.
I believe that.
Their bidets were fucking ridiculous. Heated seats, heated water that hits you in the butt, a heated air dryer for your butthole. It was amazing.
I just bought a bidet from Costco.
Hell yeah.
Put on my toilet. I haven't tried it yet.
Bidets are fucking
I've been trying to get Hannah.
Doesn't bidet sound like it would be a meal?
Yeah.
Because like you, especially just now, you're like, I love when hotels like put out and I was just literally just pictured like a spread of bidets. Like, oh my god, these bidets.
Oh my god, look at all this. A hose? There's a heat. Yeah.
Chocolate filled bidet.
It shoots chocolate at you. It's not like washing your ass with chocolate.
Milk lemonade.
Frank, what's the funniest / lamest thing you've ever heard a family member say?
Funniest thing I've ever had, it was recently my cousin. I hadn't seen her in like years, right? And she was like the sweetest kid growing up. And she's like, in her 30s now, I think, or no, early or late 20s, right? She's a little younger than me. And we were walking. Yeah, you're rich. We were walking through the parking garage in San Jose, and she goes, "Yo, I think I fought a bitch here once." And I was like, "What have you been up to for 20 years?" Lower your mic, just.
Oh, sorry. You really hadn't seen her in like 16 years?
No, I mean, we also just hadn't hung out, like, like family. I was just like, whoa.
You were like, this is the one I wanted to hang with.
I was like, holy
Where's
shit.
that person?
And then, like, I was telling that story to my other cousins, right? And then she's like, she turns around, she's like, oh, you fucking talking about me? And she was like, what? And I was like, I was just telling them the story. She goes, oh, come on, man. I'm a nice ass bitch. I'm friendly as fuck. Bro, I was like, who are you, Nicki Minaj? You're just writing fucking rap lyrics? Holy shit. It was
and
hilarious.
You were like, and can you repeat it? Because I need to write this down.
Yeah, dude. Oh, dude, it was so fucking funny. And then she came up to me, she was drunk. She goes, I know you're the funniest boy in the family, but who's the funniest girl? And before I could say anything, she fucking gave me the meanest titty twister I've ever had and was just like, say it's me. Say it's me. And I was like, oh my God, it's you. And she was like, that's what I fucking thought. And I was like, she's like this tall. Adorable.
Those are the ones you got to watch out for.
Dude.
But they're the squatty ones.
Yeah.
They fight.
How about you?
What was the question?
The funniest or lamest thing you've ever heard a family member say?
I feel like I have my whole family is old Jews. Like I feel like everything is lame, like lame things that people would say. But I remembered one a minute ago. Now I don't remember what it was. I don't know. Now I'm afraid I'm going to do that stare at the door and try and think of what I wanted to say. But it was something.
Yep, she definitely.
Oh, I know. I remember what it was. I remember what it was.
She definitely inhaled.
Okay, it was.
I think it's working.
On like a family video, like a birthday party. They pass the mic and they're like, "What do you want to say? Like, what do you want to say?" So it went to like this other cousin of mine. It's like him and his wife sitting there, parental age. So we'd expect more from them. They're like parental age, right? And then like before, he's like, "Okay, wish you a happy birthday." And then before he passes the mic, he's like, "Why are there ice cubes in the urinal?" And I have asked myself that question for 20 years. I'm like, why the fuck? I just literally thought somebody was done with their drink and was like, well, I might as well just pour it down here. It's like a sink.
I think it's to like save water.
No, it's to hide the smell of urine.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. Like waters it down because like all the pee sitting there. It's like
I love those
ruin
like
the stench of it.
I love those in betweens of like family, like my family members. It's like unintentionally say funny shit is the funniest fucking thing. Like it's just, man, it's just like you get to see that they're always just like, why like, because when you're the comedian in the family, and the things that make me laugh when it comes to like family dynamics, and I'll just lose my shit because it's so funny to me, and then they'll be like, "Why are you laughing? Like, what's so like?" They don't understand.
Like I'll laugh too, like as if I could. Like, and I'm thinking, oh, if they see me laughing, they'll also get like, this is a funny moment we're having, but they never do.
Yeah.
Like I do that, and then they're just like, "Well, you thought that was fun?" I'm like, "That was the most perfectly crafted response I could have fucking thought of."
Yeah.
And you don't appreciate it.
And that's also like real life. You know what I mean? Like I like my cousin. She's just her. You know what I mean? Like shit like that's so funny to me. Like just people just because in comedy you're always trying to be yourself as you can on stage. So to see like family members who can only be nothing but themselves be just funny because they're themselves is like so funny.
That's why like I'm always envious that I wasn't in a family where you can just kind of say shit like that and have it be okay. Like me growing up, it was always like, you said everything was more prim and proper. So like I wish that like I could just be chilling like at an aunt's house and be like, oh, this fucking
when you're
like,
poor you gotta entertain everybody.
Like,
So
I was also like, I mean, I grew up and my dad was like, everybody is Mr. or Mrs. like unless they give you permission to call them like by their first name. So it was hilarious in my house.
Yeah, like no, that's Susan's baby daddy.
Yo, Susu, Cece.
Yeah, it was a fucking rambunctious group. Was that it?
Like
that's the end of round 3.
Else.
Oh my God, no, that's it. We reached the end of the podcast.
No, we didn't barely smoke.
What are you talking about?
I got to only do like one gargle of each one.
We'll do a closing dab. One gargle of each one.
This should still be good.
I thought we were going to do a whole tasting the
Do you want to do more?
I thought we were going to do like at least. I feel like we didn't
Should
go
be
as deep as I thought we were going to go.
I mean,
to the moon.
Did you just up the temperature?
Yeah.
Like, did you put on the tushy warmer in the car and not tell me?
Yeah. You're gonna be fucking hanging out for the next podcast in the other room, bro.
I think I'll move into my Airbnb at 4:00.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be you're gonna be staring at your Airbnb.
Yeah, I'm like, I mean, we smoke, but I feel like we just did like a casual smoke. I feel
no, this was definitely
Very
like it's your first time smoking, so I definitely put the training wheels on this
you
one.
kid gloved me.
Yeah, of course I did.
I think she's taking fatter rips than you.
I mean, she really was. That's why I was like, holy fuck.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like you're supposed to. If you're right, isn't it like wine? If you don't aerate it, it's not good.
Yeah, whenever a good
I
friend.
have a shuck off with you. I'll suck as long as you suck.
All right. Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What's the?
Welcome to Peaked, guys. It was a good episode. Today's guest, Jackie Gold.
What's the?
My co-host JP Noda. Just want to say thank you, PUFFCO. Thank you, Punch Extracts. Thank you, everybody. Anything you want to plug before we?
I have an album out. It's been out a couple of years because I haven't written anything new. It's called Maximum Occupancy. You can get that on streaming stuff.
Where can they find you?
It's on Amazon.
No, where can they find you?
Oh, 776 Argyle.
All right, thank you guys so much. Thank you, JP.